Hi Growth Seekers, I'm Dr. Pam, and today I'm diving into episode 4 of Love is Blind, that popular reality show, reacting to the dynamics between the couples, unpacking what might be really going on beneath the surface for each of them, and pointing out teachable moments so that they are helpful for you. For example, what if a compliment isn't as kind as it seems, but instead just a subtle form of manipulation?
You are special enough to me.
And the biggest irony I have seen so far in this show yet.
Please give me an answer. Like, I'm just tortured.
And a big clue that something is profoundly wrong in a relationship.
I'm going crazy.
And why it is so important to question emotional safety.
You've made me feel just so safe.
And why sometimes reassurance is not the best approach.
You ever think I'll be like too much?
And finally, what we crave more than anything from another person. I am diving into all of this today and so much more. So let's just dive right in. Oh boy, let's start with Leo and Hannah. I'm going to break down bit by bit what is happening here because I will say right up front, this was awful.
This is like too much.
Please give me an answer. Like, I'm just tortured sitting over here, like not knowing if I have a chance with you or if I don't.
So the tables have turned. He's no longer in control. As you watch all of these clips, this is what it looks like when a person is suddenly not in control anymore. Now, he says he feels tortured, unsure if he has a chance with her, after leaving both her and Brittny in limbo all this time. So let's see if he has any idea that he is now feeling what he has put both Brittny and Hannah through this entire time.
I feel very confused.
You like, please, like Hannah, can you tell me, like, does part of you feel you couldn't handle this uncertainty for another day? Then maybe I'm not special enough to be willing to handle that for. And if that's the case, I'm not the one for you. You are special enough to me to be willing to tear my hair out all day. I want to talk to you first. I want to talk to you first tonight, Hannah.
Nope, he doesn't see it. His behavior is manipulative because he's shifting the blame onto her for his constant indecision that he put Hannah and Brittny through. When he says things like, if I'm not special enough, he's making her feel like she's the problem rather than taking responsibility for the chaos that he's caused. Saying you're special enough for me might sound like a compliment, but it's really just another way to keep her hooked while he avoids accountability. How can anyone feel special when he's been openly torn between two women, making them compete for his attention? Rather than showing genuine care for either of them, his indecision devalues both of them, leaving them feeling unworthy and unfairly responsible for resolving a situation that he created through his own uncertainty. This is especially damaging because it makes Hannah question herself instead of him. He has turned every interaction into a test and a decision-making process. This constant shifting of responsibility keeps the focus on Hannah and off his actions, which is a classic manipulation tactic. Hannah, just walk away.
He's like really expressed like his feelings for me, like he told me he loved me and like how much like he wanted to be with me. He literally told me he was in love with me.
Look, Hannah, he's, as I understand it, he's got one connection, and it's you. And you know what? I respect him for swinging for the fences, and he might mean that. He probably does. Is he the best person for you, or is he just the first person to tell you I love you? Because if he's just the first, and that's how you're gonna get married, like.
He says, and that's how you're going to get married because Nick was the first person to tell her that he loves her? Come on. It makes me wonder, what does he tell himself about how a woman could marry him after he was so openly torn between two women? I said in my previous videos that he is completely unaware of the impact of his actions on Hannah and Brittny, completely failing to see how his indecision and emotional manipulation might make him an unlikely choice for marriage in the first place. His words reveal not just an attempt to control Hannah, but also a glaring lack of self-awareness about how his behavior is damaging the very connection he claims to value.
We're not the kind of people that give validation easily. I'm gonna guess that he probably offered the validation before, and it probably felt really good. It feels really good to hear it from my connection, but if we can get there, we'd be unstoppable.
Then why don't you say something earlier if you feel like that?
I was planning on saying all this right now, but in a very different context. And I have another connection I can go to. You understand? It's not even like I'm fighting for you because you're my only one. I have another, and I'm still here, Hannah.
This is so bad it almost makes me chuckle. I have another connection and I'm still here. It's as if he expects her to be grateful for his indecision, as though his mere presence is a gift, despite him openly juggling two relationships. The irony is that his statement highlights exactly why she shouldn't feel valued. Staying in this situation only shows how little respect he has for either women's feelings, both Brittny and Hannah.
I just thought like you were gonna be like, it's fine, like I have a strong connection with Brittny. Like,
No, I'm fighting to know who's truly the right person. Like, Hannah, this is a marriage for life. I do not take that shit lightly, Hannah. Like, that's why I'm here sitting with you, Hannah, trying to talk this out with you right now.
I care about you so deeply, like so deeply, Leo. Like you're telling me that you have the same exact feelings for another person.
It's not the same feelings, though. I have another person. That doesn't mean it's the same feelings. My other connection is amazing, but you, I don't know if I'll ever get a chance with someone like you ever again.
I feel like I'm going crazy, like.
When Hannah says, I feel like I'm going crazy, it's a clear reaction to the emotional manipulation she's experiencing. His behavior is full of desperate, controlling tactics, blaming her, acting as though he wants her while still keeping the other connection front and center to keep her off balance. It's not love, it's a power play to maintain control and keep her hooked. Hannah, this isn't worth your peace of mind. Walk away. No one should feel crazy in a relationship. That's a sign that something is deeply wrong.
Hi, I love you both. You're both great.
I love you too, Hannah. But, like, Hannah, like, and you know what, Hannah? I love my other connection. I told my other connection, I can't see myself telling one of my connections, I love you, unless I see myself marrying them. And I just told you I love you. Please give me an answer. Like, if I have a chance with you or if I don't.
The truth is all four of them should walk away from each other. Hannah, Nick, Brittny, Leo. As I mentioned in my previous video, Hannah has her own growth work to do. If she still feels torn between Nick and Leo, the healthiest choice would be to step away from both. What's mind-blowing is that Leo is now begging for an answer, completely unaware of the irony. He's putting Hannah in the same exact position he put Brittny and Hannah in before, leaving them waiting for his decision. I've said this again and again. He lacks any self-awareness about how his actions have affected others. That said, if Hannah truly loves Nick, she shouldn't be this confused about Leo. Her indecision suggests she may not be as certain about Nick as she believes, or that she's just not ready to be in a committed relationship with anyone. This confusion is a sign that she needs to take a step back, reflect on what she truly wants, and focus on her own growth before making any decisions. So this goes on and on. Leo continues to try to convince Hannah in the manipulative way that he does, and she continues to be confused. And then on the next date, this happens.
I'm so sorry, Hannah. Like, the way I treated you last night to raise my voice when you were in such a vulnerable state, it was unbecoming of me as a man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I don't think I've cried that hard in my life. I don't think I've ever experienced that before, being treated like that, I guess.
I felt like shame, like an embarrassment, because like that is not me. I felt like I was like just getting like put in a corner and I couldn't move.
I would like to believe that there's a glimmer of awareness here on Leo's part, but then this happens.
It's just that like feeling that I have if my other person is just not there.
Yeah, the fact is we're not compatible. Honestly, like, Nick is everything that, like, I'm not. Like, he's calm. Nick is better for you.
And I know that.
It's true.
I've known that this whole entire time. He's my person, you know?
That's exactly how I feel about Brittny.
When he says, that's how I feel about Brittny, let's be honest. No, he doesn't truly love Brittny. Overnight, he suddenly decided that Hannah wasn't the one for him, despite his desperate, professing, undying love for her. This isn't love. It's a reactive move because he knows he's lost. And now he's pivoting to the other option. As for Hannah, I think she believes she loves Nick, but the foundation for a strong, lasting relationship, I just don't see it. Real love requires depth of knowing each other, trust, and emotional safety, all of which I believe are missing. Now, who knows, maybe that will come, we'll see. It's worth mentioning also that Hannah said that she felt shame with Leo. That shame was a result of the blame and manipulation that Leo had placed on her. It's a painful reminder of how damaging these manipulative tactics can be to someone's emotional well-being.
I know what I want. You know what you want. You and Nick are meant to be, and me and Brittny were meant to be. If there's one thing I would ask you to do for me, is I would like beg of you to tell Brittny that like it really was mutual and that like I really genuinely care for her. If you just like let her know like how much like I'm sitting here talking to you and all I can think about is just wanting to get down on one knee for Brittny.
Here he goes again, trying to control things he has no business controlling. By telling Hannah to lie to Brittny for him, he's attempting to manipulate the situation to maintain a sense of power and control. And then he doubles down on this power play by declaring that it's always been Brittny he loves and that Nick is the right person for Hannah. This isn't about honesty. It's about controlling the narrative to suit his ego. His apology, if you can even call it that, wasn't rooted in self-awareness or accountability. There was no acknowledgement of how his actions deeply impacted both Brittny and Hannah. Instead, it felt like another tactic to smooth things over while keeping himself in the driver's seat. True apologies come with reflection and understanding, especially understanding as to how we impact others, neither of which he has shown. So this is just another example of his inability to take responsibility for the harm that he's caused. Okay, let's see what happens between Brittny and Leo.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
I knew walking in here this wasn't going to be easy. I'm so in love with you, Brittny.
I feel like our connection has been tainted by your words to someone else because obviously everyone knows what happened between you and Hannah.
I'm still gonna tell you that I love you. Like, I love you so much. I know you like hearing it.
I really hope Brittny comes to her senses and walks away. Leo is still deeply manipulating. When he says, I love you, followed by, I know you love hearing that, he's not expressing genuine affection. He's using her emotions against her. It's a tactic to keep her hooked, making her feel like she's getting what she wants while he maintains control. His distraught act isn't about the fear of losing her as a person. It's about the fear of losing, period. This isn't love. It's about power, control, and coming out on top. For Leo, it's a game where he needs to feel like he's the winner, and Brittny is just a pawn in his strategy. I'm not saying that he's aware of any of this. I have said time and time again that he has major blind spots, but it's important to remember real love isn't about winning or controlling. It's about mutual respect and emotional safety, neither of which he is offering to Brittny. She deserves so much better than his manipulative way. Okay, let's move on to Tim and Alex.
Okay, I'm gonna open this gift. What is this?
So that bracelet is something my older sister bought for my middle sister shortly before she passed away. I wanted to give it if it felt proper to give it, and I don't have a doubt in this world that the right person has it.
So that gift is so deeply personal, something that carries so much emotional weight. I believe it would be a more fitting gift at either the altar, if they make it to the altar, or even more so on a significant milestone event like a wedding anniversary. Here's why. Even for couples who seem like they might make it, there's still so much to learn about each other and about the dynamic they will develop over time. Relationships are so complex, as I'm sure you know, and they're so challenging. No matter how much love or connection exists, you will inevitably hurt each other. It's part of being human. A gift like this should mark a moment when the foundation of their relationship has been tested and strengthened, not during the initial excitement of falling in love. So if they wait, or he would wait, it would symbolize not only his love, but also their resilience and growth as a couple, making it so much more meaningful. That's my opinion anyway.
Oh my God. I'm laughing at your painting. Oh my God.
Does that mean that it's better than yours?
This was such a sweet moment. I love how they could laugh together at their paintings. It shows a lightheartedness that is so important in any relationship.
Mr. Bird,
Not Mr. Bird.
thank you for bringing Alex into this world. Before I make my vows to her, I want to make my vow to you. I kindly ask for your daughter's hand in marriage for a lifetime. Alex, I want to promise you that I'm going to wake up every day and continue to earn this, and I don't ever want to take it for granted. Alex Marie Bird, will you marry me?
Of course, absolutely. Yes.
His proposal was incredibly heartfelt and emotional. It struck me that I've used the phrase deeply emotional to describe him more than once, and that's something worth noting. Deeply emotional people like him can be wonderfully complex. They can bring depth that is passionate and sensitive and the ability to connect on a profound level. However, it also requires a high degree of self-awareness to manage those intense emotions in a healthy way. Without self-awareness, deeply emotional people can sometimes struggle with feeling overwhelmed and unknowingly project their feelings onto others. I hope that his depth comes with the ability to reflect and understand himself, as that's key to building a stable and supportive relationship. Okay, let's watch them as they meet each other for the first time in person.
I don't know Tim's type. I definitely have curves. Definitely a little thick. I hope he's okay with it.
I knew it! Oh my I knew he was fine. I knew it.
I'm just like super nervous.
It's just me and you.
You can like finally breathe.
I'll see you in Mexico.
This made me tear up. I could feel just how happy they were to finally see each other in person. I really feel for her though. She was so nervous, and understandably so. I can't even begin to imagine how overwhelming that must feel, especially since she mentioned feeling self-conscious about being curvy, as she describes herself. His words, "I knew you'd be fine," seemed to offer some reassurance, and I hope that gave her some sense of comfort and acceptance. What struck me most, though, was that this moment reminds all of us of our deep human need to be seen and accepted for who we truly are as a person. Her nerves weren't just about physical appearance, they were about hoping to be fully embraced as a person, as all of us want from each other, flaws and all. And you could see as they continued talking, her nervousness started to fade and the ease that they had in the pods began to return. It's a reminder that true intimacy doesn't come from perfection. It comes from allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and then being met with acceptance. That's where real connection grows. Okay, let's move on to Monica and Stephan.
You've made me feel just so safe and so seen. Like, I love that you are so proud of the fact that you're like barely that black. You're like, and that you, when you found out, like, of course you did. You're the most curious, just kind man. You went to the library and you got those books about African culture.
If you've watched my other videos, you know I have some concerns about Stephan based on what we've seen so far, and of course I can't speak to what might have been edited out, but he doesn't seem to communicate from an emotional place. His approach feels more philosophical, detached even, and I don't notice, or I haven't noticed him asking much about her or showing a deeper curiosity about her emotions or her experiences. This makes me wonder what she's experiencing in their dynamic that makes her feel safe with him. Emotional safety in a relationship often comes from feeling seen, heard, and understood. Yet Stephan's communication style doesn't seem to offer that. Is she drawn to his intellectual side? Or could it be that she's interpreting his philosophical discussions as a kind of emotional depth? It's an interesting dynamic, and I'm concerned if this perceived safety is sustainable in the long term for an emotional connection, or will they perhaps grow into emotional connection? She says she feels seen, but I wish I knew what made her feel seen. She says that she appreciated his curiosity about going to the library to learn more about his heritage, but again, this is not representative of showing curiosity about her. But we'll see if this transitions into something deeper between the two of them. Okay, let's move on to Ramses and Marissa.
I had some questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
Are you a handyman?
I can be, yeah.
Do you like fixing things?
I can, yeah.
Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell? Who do you like?
Oh my God.
There is a right.
I love that she comes to her date with direct questions. She asks if he's handy around the house, and I know that can be an issue for some people. She is also trying to sort out if they are aligned in their humor, which may or may not be a deal breaker for her, but again, she is asking questions that are important to her to see if they are a possible match.
I think I will probably just be able to breathe around you in a way that I can't with other people. I think I'm going to feel very safe. And not feel like you're gonna run out on me.
No.
Which is my big fear in every relationship. Ever think I'll be like too much?
No. I think it'll be fine. I like really love who you are as a person, and I don't want you to worry about like me like randomly leaving you.
When she asked, "Do you think I'll be too much?" instead of Ramses quickly reassuring her, it would have been more meaningful for him to pause and ask what she means by too much. This vulnerable question opens the door to understanding her fears and insecurities. He could explore where this concern comes from and how it has shown up in her past relationships, while also asking reflective questions like, how do you work through those feelings when they come up? You know, like when she feels like she's too much. I mean, this would not only help her feel seen, but it would also help him gain an understanding of her self-awareness. And when she says that she can breathe around him and doesn't worry about him running out on her, she is clearly communicating her fear of abandonment. He could ask, what makes you feel like a person might leave you? Or, what has changed with us that makes you feel safer now? Also, to explore her responsibility in navigating those feelings, he might ask, when you feel worried about being left, how do you manage those fears? Or what do you think we can do together to support each other through challenges? These kinds of open and reflective conversations deepen intimacy, and they encourage both of you to grow and create a stronger foundation of trust and emotional safety. I mean, I understand these aren't the kinds of conversations that people typically have in a relationship, but that's exactly why I created these videos, for you to learn how to uncover the root of potential challenges in a relationship. That doesn't mean you need to run from these challenges. It just means you'll have a deeper understanding of them and how to navigate them together in a healthier, more connected way. Okay, let's briefly wrap up with Nick and Hannah.
You are like everything that like I could truly dream of. Like it's like the best feeling in the world.
Amen, Hannah.
Like I literally like can't like stop thinking about you. I can't wait to just spend the rest of my life with you.
I can't wait. This is the first chapter, in our story.
I just can't wait to like live life.
You'll love my life.
You're the love of my life. To the love of my life, to my soulmate, to the most passion I've ever felt in my entire life.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
To the Dorcas.
To the Dorcas.
To the Dorcas.
If you've watched my previous videos, you know I have concerns about these two. It feels like they are more in love with the idea of being in love with each other rather than being really in love as flawed individuals. All of us come to relationships with challenges, and this can be a slippery slope in relationships because being infatuated with the concept of love often overshadows the work it takes to truly understand and accept one another. Without that deeper connection, the relationship may struggle when faced with real challenges. But let's see where it goes. Okay, that's a wrap on episode 4. I really enjoyed sharing these teachable moments with you, and I do hope that you found it helpful. I can't wait to dive into episode 5, so be sure to come back and check it out. And if you choose to subscribe, know that I appreciate your support, and I do hope that my content supports you in return. See you soon.